Hello everyone, and thank you for joining me once again today. It's Kay here, and my golly, it's cold, but however, we'll leave all that aside. I'm here today to share some leftovers and scraps from the Friday freebie, what's it now, 2 weeks ago, I can't remember, or yes, 2 weeks ago, yes, I think it must be. You'll recognise it anyway if you are in the group on Facebook, Create with Scrimpingmommy. These are Amanda's Digitals, and I have been on a mission to make things, but also to use up whatever I've printed and make the most of, leftovers. I must confess to probably printing out more than I actually need by about a sheet. I don't know. I'm trying to be very fair about this. I always, this would be considered the background paper, so I always print out 2 or 3 of these, and then there are images that come about from what I've shared that are left over. So all of that said, they are scraps, they are leftovers, and I wanted to share what I've done with my leftovers. These are, or this is, what I've got left now, and I won't be doing it anymore except perhaps to make extra tags and things. These are it in a nutshell, so we'll move those out of the way. And again, there is nothing new that I'm sharing today. I had to make another of Amanda's double easel cards because I absolutely did fall in love with it the first time round. This is the size it folds down to. It is unique to Amanda, who has made this extra flap area here, which when folded folds up into a triangle which supports the card, so you don't need any extra bits and pieces to anchor down the easel aspect of the card. And then it comes together. If I hold it that way and then bring it up to show you, it comes together, and the edges of the easel aspect, my hands aren't very big so I'm struggling here, sorry about that. This comes together and the triangular bit forms the easel aspect of the card. Now you can see the images I've used here. I made in the beginning this tag area, which was the larger one I shared before. I made it smaller. I'd also had a spare of the little girl here, which I fussy cut, and then this bit, which was part of the sheet, I also cut down and decided that would make a lovely facing for this angled bit of the stand. It is a lovely card. I've lined, as you can see, the base so that it's all very festive, and when you look behind, apart from what would be the base of the card, I have lined the back of the card as well, so when it's stood up and being displayed, you can actually see all the background paper all the way around, so there's nothing plain. The message for the recipient would probably have to be on the bottom, which would be seen when the card was opened up and ready to be rebuilt again for the purposes of display. I've used my little quite delicate snowflake here just to add another little dimension and something to the card. I hope you're seeing it in all its loveliness. It really is. And again, these papers have lent themselves beautifully to this particular project. So this is the front bit, just to cover it again. of the card, which stands up freestanding, and then the 2 easel aspects with the mirror card on it, and more images of the little girl. I didn't think it detracted from the overall look of the card, just using the girls in their little different ways. It just kind of brings it all together and makes it a nicely festive card. So I'll put that over there. Not that you can see it, I'm sure. Perhaps it's best to leave that down, I don't know. Anyway, and then I went on to make some more of the matchbooks, using up again the leftover images and so on. So I've made 4 of these little beauties, and they really are so simple to make. They're roughly 4 inches by again, as I say, it's nothing new, 4 inches by 8 inches. You simply fold and score ½ inch from the base to make the little plinth here. I've used ordinary copier paper, just 4 sheets, and cut it so that it just slips inside there. I've put the background paper over the front to hide the staples that are required to keep that area where it needs to be, and then that just slots in there like that quite neatly. And clearly you could use that any time, any season, and for any given project. Again, it would slip into a pocket. It would be nice to send out as a little freestanding gift to someone, just a little reminder to let them know that you're thinking of them. Properly plain on the back, but I have hammered down the staples to make sure that they're not going to cause any damage to anyone. So that was the first one. This is the second one, and they're not in any particular order. I just made them up with the scraps, utilised the numbers that were left over, always adding a little bit of glitter here and there, cheers it up somewhat. There is the 25th with the sprig of holly. Very simple, very straightforward, but it does make a nice little project, particularly for an on-the-go day where you just feel you want to do a little something, but you don't have the time to do anything that's too in-depth or too difficult not to put down again. They've all got the same amount of paper inside. You can see they're quite flat, so they'd go in as Happy Mail post very simply and very cheaply. So, you know, again, that is what these type of little projects are all about, in my opinion. Just having them in your stash to send out when the feeling passes. So that is my share, and it concludes my use of this kit. And I say it for the time being, because who knows what's around the corner. And thank you so much for joining me yet again, and I will be back in the not too distance. I am still trying to figure out something that I would like to do for my 4,000 subby giveaway that isn't going to cost the earth for people to take part in, and I want to be able to include my international friends as well. So what it will probably come down to is PayPal for my overseas buddies and gifts for my UK based and Ireland friends. So with that said, I'm going to love you and leave you. As always, thank you for sharing this time with me. I hope I've inspired. That is my main aim in all of this. Take care, everyone. Happy crafting.